I think it's working.
Truths untold unfold, maces in the psyche, new world soul.
I think it's working. Ah, yes. All right. We are now live on YouTube. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Looks like we are live on YouTube now. And let me turn off this music. This is some AI-generated music I created just the other night that we're listening to. There we go. That one was called Idle Thoughts. I had ChatGPT help me create the lyrics for that. I was going for some kind of slow electronica alternative style music for that. And yeah, we threw that together. It was last night, 2 nights ago. But that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So yes, welcome everybody. Welcome to the my YouTube stream here. I'm also on Discord, although I'm having a few problems getting the Discord stream going. So you may not be seeing it or hearing it there. You might be seeing me or hearing me, but you may not hear my screen, my computer. And so if you are on Discord listening to this, or watching, you may want to jump over to YouTube and watch it there until I work out the issues. If you end up not hearing my my computer. You can hear me now. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, this is still, I'm still very new, getting used to all of the tools here for streaming. There's a lot of things to manage here. But you're not going to learn how to do this stuff if you don't do it. So I'm just giving it a shot and through this impromptu stream together. The stream is called AI Fusion. We're going to be crafting some multimedia content using various AI tools such as ChatGPT, Suno AI for music generation. We're going to make a music video. So we're going to be creating some images and with AI image generation software such as Midjourney, ChatGPT 4.0 Turbo, even Runway ML, which is actually a video generation program, but it does create images that it then puts video to or makes them motion. So we're going to be using all of these tools, but more importantly, we're going to be ideating. We're going to be coming up with ideas on what to generate. Just a word of warning. This is a live public room here in BigScreen. Let me get my camera going here. You can see all the computers, all the screens I have going on around me right now. So I feel like I'm really jacked into the system right now. You know, the guy at the computer chair. You know, So this is a open public room here in BigScreen VR, so if you do join into BigScreen, you can go into the I am in the productivity section. So if you go to public rooms in BigScreen and select, if you go to all rooms, you definitely see my room in there. But if you go to productivity, you'll see AI Fusion Vidcast. That's the room I'm in right now. So if you have a VR headset, you're welcome to put it on, jump onto BigScreen and join the room. And we can talk, we can interact here. I will try to keep track of the chat going on on YouTube. So if you have questions there, you can go ahead and post them, and I will go ahead and try to answer those questions. But I am juggling quite a few tools right now with the VR tools here in BigScreen, and then of course all of these computer systems, all these computer desks and or computer screens that I have in front of me, and various applications. I'm juggling the OBS software to do transitions here, so we're going to be going through a lot of these tools. Here's some documents. This is a Word document that we're going to use as a storyboard to kind of keep track of what we're doing as we're creating our music video, and a file directory. Then we're also going to be using Adobe Premiere. That is Adobe Premiere, a new project in Adobe Premiere that we're going to use to assemble this music video together. But the first thing we're going to do is do some ideation, because one of the great things about AI tools is that it can really help you be creative and come up with ideas. Sometimes and that's what really spawned this vidcast for me. I was last night I was just struggling with coming up with something. I wanted to create some music. I wanted to create something, and I just was struggling coming up with ideas. You have that creative impulse. You want to do something. You have all these tools available to you, whether you're an instructional designer, a musician, a video artist, a photographer, or whatever it might be. Or an animator, whatever it might be that you're interested in, and you want to show your creativity and there is probably an AI tool out there that will help you create whatever art or whatever production thing that you want to do. And the AI tools are just fantastic for helping you come up with ideas, to getting that creativity fire burning. Because that's where I find when I'm talking with somebody or interacting with somebody and bouncing ideas off of someone, that's when I find that I am most creative. And sometimes you're not always around people to do that. I work from home here, and I do interact with people online. But there's some times when I'm just like, you know what, I gotta come. I want to do something. I want to have some fun and create something, but I don't have anybody to bounce ideas off of. Well, ChatGPT is the thing that can really help you out and help you ideate and be that sounding board for you. So that's what we're going to be using ChatGPT for. I kind of have a loose idea tonight. What I would like to do is create a music video about actually going to be using this music video. I wanted to as a mnemonic aid for a instructional design theory, or a method of helping someone identify instructional needs or problem analysis, really. And it is something called the ladder of abstraction. It is a tool used to place the problem or situation in a context. And actually, you know what? Let's have ChatGPT explain it. So I right now have a fresh chat open of ChatGPT 4.0, and I'm just going to tell it what I want to do. So I want to create a music video about the topic of the ladder of abstraction. Can you tell me more about that topic? So, and I'm familiar with the ladder of abstraction, but let's have ChatGPT give us an idea of what that ladder of abstraction is. And I'm going to have it read it to us.
The ladder of abstraction is a concept often used in communication, language, and understanding complex ideas. It was introduced by American linguist S.I. Hayakawa in his 1939 book, Language in Thought and Action. The concept is a way to visualize the range of abstraction in language and thought, helping to understand how abstract or concrete our language and thoughts are. Here's a brief overview.
And let me continue having it read for us. Oops.
Lower rungs, concrete. The lower rungs of the ladder represent more concrete concepts. These are specific, detailed, and often involve sensory information. For example, describing a specific apple, its color, shape, and texture. Higher rungs, abstract. The higher rungs are more abstract. This involves generalizations or concepts that are more removed from sensory experience. For instance, discussing the concept of fruit in general, or even more abstract, the idea of nutrition. Purpose and use. The ladder of abstraction is a tool to understand how language and thought can move from highly detailed, concrete levels to more abstract, generalized levels. It's particularly useful in teaching, communication, and writing to ensure clarity and effectiveness in conveying information. Application in communication. In communication, being aware of this ladder helps to adjust the language to suit the audience's understanding. For example, when explaining a complex concept to a lay audience, it might be more effective to use concrete examples rather than abstract terms. For your music video, you can visually represent this concept by showing a progression from detailed, specific imagery to more abstract, generalized visuals. This would reflect the movement from the lower to the higher rungs of the ladder of abstraction. It's a creative way to illustrate the concept of abstract thinking and the power of language.
So that is the ladder of abstraction, a very high-level general overview of it. It has a lot of application in instructional design. I frequently use it when I'm presented a problem that I am asked to solve by a stakeholder in my organization. They may come to me with a problem about leadership. They have a problem that their supervisors and managers are not leading their teams correctly. Well, that is a very abstract concept. Leadership, there's nothing really, there's not a lot of concreteness of what is the actual actions that someone can perform to be a leader. So that is very high up on that ladder of abstraction. And so that's where I will place it. I'll kind of create a chart that illustrates that it's like I'll make a drawing of a ladder and put that problem of lacking leadership capabilities at the higher rungs of that abstraction ladder. And then I will go down that ladder, down a rung, and identify things that are more concrete about leadership, and find out what are some traits that these supervisors and managers are doing or some actions that they're doing that we can identify as showing a lack of leadership, and that would make it much more of a concrete thing that we can maybe attack from a performance learning intervention. So that's how I use the ladder of abstraction, just to kind of place things in the proper context. And you can also go higher in the abstraction ladder in order to find maybe bigger problems to work with and deal with than just leadership. Maybe it's a leadership issue, but it could also be a systemic issue within the organization, that maybe the missions and goals of the organization are not aligned correctly with where the leadership is going. And so we can go higher up on the abstraction ladder to possibly identify issues there. So the ladder of abstraction is really a tool to help contextualize problems. And this is a fantastic concept that I will be teaching a module on as part of my instructional design class at San Diego State University, and as part of the analysis, I'd have a couple sessions on how to analyze performance problems and instructional issues that arise. So this is going to be a module about that, and I want to create something that kind of a mnemonic aid, a music video that encapsulates this concept that'll accompany this module, and learn that my students can listen to and get them maybe a little bit excited about the topic, and after they hear the lecture, they can go back to the music, and it may ring something true for them, or it might help them connect some dots. So in any way, shape, or form, it's also really fun. I think it's a really interesting, fun thing for students to be able to have a song dedicated to the topic that they're learning. So that's kind of the mission that we're having today. And so I chose the ladder of abstraction as the topic that we're going to be making music from. But from there, I don't know where I'm going to go. That's why I'm going to be using ChatGPT to help me discover how can we turn this idea, this topic of ladder of abstraction into a music video. So let's go through and ask ChatGPT some more questions and do some bouncing off of to find out what can we do with this. So it said down here that for the music video, you can visually represent this concept by showing a progression from detailed specific imagery to abstraction generalized visuals. This would reflect the movement and the from the lower to the higher rungs of the abstraction ladder. Okay. Now this is going to be a little difficult because we can't get too abstract, and I'm going to tell that to ChatGPT. So, ironically, the music video I would like to create has to remain somewhat concrete, as to give the students a good idea of how the ladder of abstraction can be used to solve instructional or performance-based problems. What ideas do you have to help contextualize this concept so that it can make a helpful music video to learn from. There we go. I think it's kind of ironic that we don't want to get too abstract about the ladder of abstraction in talking about it. So here we go. Is giving us some ideas. Let's see what it has to say. Yeah, I'm not going to have ChatGPT. It's kind of slow to read, so I'm going to read it. In fact, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can all read this a little easier. I'm sure it's a little difficult for you all to read on the video feed. So yes, it's creating a music video to illustrate the ladder of abstraction and solving instructional performance problems. It's creative engaging. This is a problem. I'm going to have to give ChatGPT some custom instructions. It always likes to say how great of an idea, whatever I give. It's like, oh, you have such a great idea. It's such an engaging approach and very creative. I'm like, yeah, let's just cut through all that and just get to it. So I would go through. I'm not going to do that right now, but I should go through and set some custom instructions here. And here's my custom instructions. I've given a little bit of background about who I am, what I want to use ChatGPT from, and so how I would like ChatGPT to respond. I could add some text in there about how I want it to. There we go. How I want it to not praise me for everything that I ask it to do. But here it gives us some ideas: conceptual framework and introduction scenes, setting the context. Start with a common instructional performance-based problem. For instance, a scene where a learner is struggling to understand a complex concept like climate change. Whoa. It's funny. My son was just talking about climate change right before we went to bed. Was it listening to me? Was it listening to us? That's eerie. Use concrete imagery to depict confusion or misunderstanding. Lower rung scenes. Concrete. Move to solutions at the lower rungs of the ladder. Show practical concrete steps to address the problems. For example, the learner could be shown interacting with specific tangible elements like measuring temperature, observing weather patterns. I am not a big fan of using this concept of global warming, climate change for this. I would rather you make this a little bit more realistic to something that would be found in a work environment. So it is going down this line of using a greenhouse effect. So let's place this. Let's just ask it to let's focus on the topic of communication and topic of communication as the context for this music video to teach the ladder of abstraction. So communication is one of those things that I think is a skill or a problem within a lot of organizations that training could really help out on. How do you communicate effectively with your team? How do you write an email correctly? How do you write notes correctly? Anything that's involved, and also even communicating with ChatGPT. How do you do these things correctly? And so that might be a good performance issue that we can use as an example of illustrating this concept of ladder, or we can apply the ladder of abstraction too. So I asked it to. So let's focus on the topic of communication as the context for this music video to teach the ladder of abstraction. Perhaps we should frame it with a work team communicating badly and attempting to resolve that issue by working through the ladder of abstraction. All right, there you go. That's great. Context for your music video. Yeah, let's say if I can give it some really bad context, and it would probably still say that it's really great. Using a workplace communication standard to illustrate the ladder of abstraction can effectively demonstrate its practical applications. Here's a storyboard idea for your video. Oh, cool! It's jumping right into the storyboard. Opening scene, the problem. Being in a typical office setting where a team is experiencing communication breakdowns, show scenes of misinterpretation, confusion, and frustration amongst the team members. Use visuals like crossed wires, cluttered desks, puzzled faces. First verse, focus on specific instances of communication failure. For example, a team member misinterpreting an email or confusion over project objectives. Lyrics can highlight these concrete examples, emphasizing the ground level of communication ladder. The chorus introduces the ladder of abstraction, introduce the concept of ladder abstraction as a tool for better communication. No, don't want to have the ladder of abstraction be used as a tool for better communication. We're using it as a tool to solve the problem of bad communication. So I want to correct ChatGPT right away on that. I want to make it clear that this is right in line with the ladder of abstraction and how ChatGPT will sometimes misconstrue what you're attempting to do at a different level of the ladder of abstraction. We're getting a little meta here. So basically, ChatGPT is looking on the wrong rung of the ladder of abstraction for what I intend to do. So I want to make it clear that the ladder of abstraction is the tool that will be used to solve the overall issue of bad communication, but won't necessarily be used as the solution for the bad communication. Because this might get a little confusing for people if it's being used both as the tool to solve the problem or to analyze the problem, but also solve the problem. So start the scene with depicting the chaos of miscommunication in a team setting like mixed messages. Introduce the ladder as a metaphoric tool discovered by a team member or introduced to the team. Use the chorus to underscore the ladder of abstraction as a means of analysis. And I don't want to emphasize that it's not a direct solution, but that's fine. Show the team using the ladder to categorize and understand their issue. Perfect. The transition to the teams realizing that while the ladder helps them understand the problem, solutions require additional steps. Awesome. Conclude the scene showing the team implementing practical solutions to the communications. All right. End with the reflection. All right. So this is, I think, a good kind of outline of a story that we're going to tell. But most importantly about a music video is the music. What is the type of music that we're going to use here? What's the genre? And so let's ask ChatGPT for some advice on what genre we should use for this music video, and then we can use that with this information that it just provided to create the lyrics for it. So let's do that. What genre of music do you recommend that would best illustrate these concepts? Selecting the right music for your video on the ladder of abstraction and communication is crucial. Let's see. Corporate inspirational music? No. Jazz or light acoustical? I don't think so. Pop or light rock? I kind of like that. Electronic or ambient? You know what? I want this to be lively. So I think pop. I'm definitely not classical or orchestral. We want to have lyrics, and I think pop might be the best way to go. So let's go with pop. Let's go with pop music. 80s music. We can do 80s. Well, you know what? Okay, I've been doing way too much 80s. I am a child of the 80s. I love 80s music, synthwave, synth pop, alternative, all that stuff. But I want to spread my wings a little bit. So we're gonna go with some more modern pop music. But I love the 80s music too. So All right, so choosing pop music for your music video about the ladder of abstraction and communication is a great choice. See, Miss Ken, it's always pat me on the back. Pop music's broad appeal and upbeat nature can make the video engaging and accessible to a wide audience. This is this whole thing. Really, ChatGPT can give you a lot of confirmation bias. It's always going to agree with you. So be careful with that. All right. So integrating pop music into the music video, use a catchy rhythmic pop intro to gather attention immediately. Lyrics in this section be quick pace, reflecting the misconceptions. All right. You know what? I think it's on the right path here. Discovery of the ladder, building interest. As the ladder of abstraction is introduced, the music can shift to a more curious and intriguing melody. You know what? I'm just gonna trust ChatGPT here and say, hey, let's let it rip. Let's write lyrics following your advice on using pop music for each section. Be sure to incorporate the themes and ideas we discussed earlier. Also, now this is something that I want to mention about Suno. Suno AI is the application that we're going to be using for this. In fact, let me show it to you. Here we go. This is Suno AI, and it has a very specific way in which lyrics need to be added to it to get the best results. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to give us lyrics in this way. So be sure to incorporate the themes and ideas we discussed earlier. When I got my hands in the wrong place on the keyboard. When writing the lyrics, use label each verse with each section with as a verse, chorus, bridge, etc. Use brackets and numbers to indicate which to use brackets on the labels and numbers to identify which verse. So, and here's a trick that you should use on for ChatGPT. Give it examples. Give it examples of what you want it to do. And so I just told it what I want to do, but now I'm going to give it an example. So, for example, verse 1, verse 2, chorus, bridge, and outro, etc. All right, here it goes. It's going to draft some lyrics. Oh, I hate it when it does this in the copy code format. All right, I'm going to have to, or in the CSS format. I like to just have it as text. So after it gets this done, I'm going to ask it to rewrite this as standard text. I'm just going to have it do it right now. Try again, and this time don't use the coding output method. Simply provide the lyrics as text. There we go. Oh, it's doing something I really hate. Right, ChatGPT is very bad with cliches. musical cliches, story cliches. It's just, yeah, it does a lot of cliches. And I see that it did that. This right in the beginning here, in a world. In a world where words just fly. No, I don't like that. So I'm going to ask it to rewrite this. Try again, but I want you to avoid using musical and stylistic cliches, such as in a world. That's just horrible. Also I've noticed when you are putting a style in, such as pop music. We've asked it to do pop music. We It will sometimes incorporate elements of that, like tangible, concrete elements of that style, even naming pop music into the lyrics. And I also want to avoid that. I don't want the lyrics to indicate that it's pop music. I want that style to come across them in the music, not in the lyrics. So I'm going to make a mention of that as well. All right. So, oh, hi there, Perfect Pete. Well, I'm currently live streaming on YouTube right now, and we are creating a music video using artificial intelligence, such as ChatGPT. Oh, he left. Or did he? Yep, looks like he did. You know what? One thing I want to do, I'm going to turn on, I've got a display here that shows me who's entering my room. So I want to keep that open just so I can keep an eye on who's entering the room. This is a public room, as I mentioned earlier. So people will pop in and out of here, and there might be some people that are a little bit disruptive. And I come in and say some inappropriate things. It happens. It's the internet. We're in VR, but this is the internet. So I'm going to do my best to boot those people if they're being disruptive, but just to prepare you all, that might happen. And sometimes this room, whenever I start doing AI stuff here in big screen, it can get very lively. All right, so let's go back to this reprompting here. So try again, but I want you to avoid using musical and stylistic cliches, such as in a world, and also do not mention the music genre in the lyrics. Yeah, let's try that again. All right, let's give me the revised lyrics. Lines get crossed in our daily speech, meaning lost, out of reach. Emails sent but not understood. We're speaking, but it's not doing good. In our busy work day flow, true intentions fail to show. Every chat, every call, misunderstood by one and all. At the ladder's foot, we now begin. This is the chorus. It didn't label this as verse 2. I need every set of 4 lines to be labeled as a verse for the sake of Suno, so I'm going to ask it to correct that. But let's go over these lyrics and see if it's hitting our approval. At the ladder's foot, we now begin to unravel where our wires have been. Rung by rung, up we climb, seeking clarity, one step at a time. I kind of like this. Now, it's not overtly talking, like introducing the ladder of abstraction, but note that this song, the context that this song is going to be used in is with the instruction. This is going to be accompanied a lecture presentation and a learning module about the ladder of abstraction. So the context about this being the ladder of abstraction is there. So let's see here. At the ladder's foot, we now begin to unravel where our wires have been. Rung by one, up we climb, seeking clarity one step at a time. From details to the bigger scene, understand what words mean, shifting views, gaining height, turning missteps into insight. Interesting. Okay. Every phrase, every tone, the ladder shows how we've grown. In each message, in each word, a clear understanding is heard. The ladder's not the fix, but a guide to see how our words can connect you and me. From thought to action, we find our way, turning confusion into brighter day. It's not really giving us much details about how the ladder shifts the abstraction and concreteness of the concept. So I think we're going to have to ask it to give to try again. So let's try again. I noticed how the how the let's see, let me think, how can I word this to ChatGPT? I, I noticed how the concept of moving up and down the ladder of abstraction is not as um, emphasized emphasized as I would like in the lyrics. I would like there to be more explicit um, information about how the ladder of abstraction can be used, moving up to be more abstract and moving down to be more concrete. Now, sometimes I get a little when I'm working. Sometimes when I'm working with ChatGPT, I get a little, word fumbleage, and I don't mind too much. I don't let grammar be an issue when communicating with ChatGPT. I try to think to myself that I'm not really talking to a person. Sometimes when you're talking to somebody, particularly a colleague, and you use incorrect grammar, and you kind of get very self-conscious, and I believe that really hinders some of the ideation process. We're kind of working in a bit of a dreamlike state when we are trying to be creative, and if we're having to censor ourselves because we are not following proper grammar or word usage, that can hinder that creativity process. So I don't want that to hinder me when working with ChatGPT. So I will use bad grammar. I may not use the correct words for describing what I want it to do, and but I'll still put it in there because it's more important for me to keep this creative flow going than start thinking about how I am speaking to ChatGPT. Now, if it does start yielding results that are not what I want, and I'm confusing it, certainly I'll go back and make corrections. But that's part of the whole process, and you might even come up with something. It's really surprised me how often ChatGPT has been able to figure out what I mean, even though I'm not explicitly stating it, or I'm stating it kind of badly. So give it a try. Give it a try. Don't worry too much about how grammar is. Don't worry about thanking ChatGPT or saying please or anything like that. However, I do like to give it feedback when it's done something well, such as I sometimes have it help me grade papers. And when it does an exceptional job of grading a paper and providing feedback, and I look over, I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I like. And I need it to repeat that process for another paper. I'm like, yes, very good. Keep with that, give it a little bit of positive reinforcement, and it'll continue along that path. So you really do have to work with ChatGPT as your assistant, but it's an assistant that you don't have to be courteous to, but you do have to give positive reinforcement. All right, let's take a look at what it generated. All right. So conversations miss the mark. In the office light, we're in the dark. Words too concrete, detail lost in sound. Need a higher view to turn this around. Conflicts born from the literal layer. Misunderstandings fill the air. It's time to climb, to rise above, to see the forest, not just the leaves thereof. Oh, I like that one. That's a good one. Up the ladder, we find the theme. Beyond the specifics, we weave the dream. Then down we go with a clear view, turning broad ideas into actions true. Oh, I'm loving it. Higher up, where thoughts are wide, we see connections that before did hide, abstracting problems, the bigger picture's clear, then descending back, solutions appear. In abstraction, we find the link, but in the concrete, our plans sink. Hoo-hoo. Balancing between, we find our way. In the dance of words, we sway. Oh, I'm liking it. It's using that dance. It's going to go well with the music. The ladder is not just for the climb, but a tool for thoughts time after time. Up from vision, down for touch. In this rhythm, we find so much. ascending high, then back to ground. In this cycle, or answers are found. With each step, perspective flows from abstract heights to concrete toes. Now, yeah, up and down. Abstract heights, concrete toes. Down at the bottom of the ladder, that's where your toes are. Now we speak both wide and deep in our words, both a leap and a creep. With the ladder's wisdom, we found our pace in the spectrum of dialogue, our perfect place. From the lofty clouds to the solid earth, we navigate our thoughts, give ideas birth. With each rung up and down, we've bridged our gaps, won our crown. Awesome. I'm loving this. I think we got a winner here. Now, I would ask it, so as you notice, we talked about how we need to have these titles on each set of verses, and it looks like it skipped a few. And I have a feeling if I enter that all into Suno, it will probably give it some problems. But that's okay. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to ask ChatGPT to revise these and put those titles on. What we're going to do is we are going to use Word here, and I've got a kind of a little quick storyboard that I threw together. So I'm going to note all the sections of the lyrics, put the lyrics in here, and I want ChatGPT to create some imagery for these lyrics. And so we're going to put that image in here too, and just have ChatGPT help us create a little storyboard. So I'm not going to worry too much about the verses, but or those titles, but I will start copying and pasting those in here. So I have a record of them. And this might take a little while, but what I'll do, I like to kind of, you know what, I'm just going to take all of this. I think it might be easier for me to just create another one. There we go. And it's a little bit easier for me just to copy and paste word to word into this table as opposed to from ChatGPT. So I'm going to work on that as I have ChatGPT and or some other work on some other things. Usually ChatGPT takes a little time in creating images. So as it's creating images, it's gonna I'll go over to Word and start doing that transfer. All right, so let's work on images now. And so this is great. What I will need now is imagery to match these lyrics and tell the story. I will then use that imagery to or I will then use AI tools to turn those images into video. Let's start with the first verse and I'm thinking we're going to create about 7 images for each verse because we're looking for a 3 to 4 minute song. Then I think over the course of this, actually, hold on. Let's just let's ask ChatGPT how many pictures are we going to need to kind of tell the story of this song. And so yeah, that's great. I need an imagery now to match the lyrics, and I will then use AI tools in terms of so how many images do you believe I will need to adequately tell this music video story? Yeah. Remember that the music video will be in the pop genre, so perhaps there will be a lot of fast cuts and short video clips. All right, let's see how many it says that we should get. Or I'm going to kind of give us a goal in mind. All right, so for pop music, pop genre music with fast cuts and short clips, you'll generally need a large number of images to maintain the dynamic and engaging pace typical of pop music videos. Number of images depends on the length of your song, from the duration of each shot. Typically, pop videos have shots that last anywhere between 1 to 3 seconds. Here's a rough estimate. Average shot duration, let's go for 2 seconds per shot. Song duration, if your song is about 3 minutes, you'll need approximately 90 shots. Given the content of your lyrics, these images can range from office environments depicting miscommunication to more abstract visuals representing the concepts of the latter abstraction. Here's a breakdown by section. All right, that's pretty good. It's giving me some ideas here. But remember your shots, close-ups, wide shots, abstract and literal representations to maintain the visual interest. Since you're planning to use AI tools for video creation, these descriptions can guide the generation of specific images that align with each part of your song. All right, so let's tackle the first part and create some images for that. So verse 1. All right, so I will provide you the first verse. We will probably need, let's see, what do we say, about 5 images. So 90 shots over, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, we got more than that. 1, 2, just looking at all of the verses here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got 9 verses. We're looking at 90 shots. So yeah, about 10 shots per verse. I think that's or per section. That's a bit excessive, I think. I think let's go with about 8. Let's do 7. 7 shots per section. So I'll provide you with the first verse. We'll probably need 7 images to cover that verse in the music video. Provide me descriptions for, provide me 7 descriptions for those images, so that they, images, those descriptions should match the content of the content, theme, style, and story of the verse. All right. Oh, it's just going straight into it. I'm a little afraid when it does that. I want to see. Okay, so ChatGPT has token counts, and ChatGPT 4.0, it's got a lot of token counts. Is how far it remembers back, and basically the like it's like 3, like every token is like 3/4 of a word, I believe, and so in Turbo 4.0 has like a 16 or 160,000 token count, so it can remember back pretty far, but the farther it remembers back, the more processing it seems to do. And when it does more processing and kind of logistics and rationalizing, it can sometimes get a little off track. And it could perhaps even have other tokens that happened, other tokens on other topics, impact how it treats the new rendering of the tokens prior. So for instance, right now we're asking it to create images associated to the first verse, and it's looking all the way. I haven't provided it the first verse. It knows it from way back, but I haven't reminded it of it. So since it's looking so far back into the music, let me go to, here we go, ChatGPT. Since it's going way back here, all the way back here, which is actually not too far back, it's only looking at this section right now. but it has all of this in the way that it has to process through to come up with these images. And this information here, all of these tokens, are potentially impacting these images or influencing what it's yielding here. And that could spell disaster. I mean, it's probably not too big of a deal for this sake, but I've had ChatGPT give me like results for like grading a student's essay that was influenced by another student's essay that I graded just prior to it. So it kind of starts trending towards a norm of whatever it is last graded or last done. And so that's very dangerous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to give me these images again. And hold on one second. My headset is acting up a little bit. Okay, there we go. We're back. I got a lot of technology around me right now. A lot of things could go wrong. My headset was just acting up a little bit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reprompt ChatGPT with the first verse of lyrics. Actually, hold on a second here. Let's try that again. This time I will provide you with the first set of lyrics that I want you to create image descriptions for. Focus on just those lyrics when creating your descriptions. All right. And let me make sure that I am grabbing the right one. There you go. So this is another thing you can do. If sometimes I don't know if you've ever worked with ChatGPT and and you're asking for it to maybe answer a question that has a lot of details to it. A very kind of procedural sort of thing. You want to get it. Actually, this is one of the reasons why ChatGPT is very bad at long math and following order of operations, because it doesn't follow a procedure. It's not intended to follow a procedure like the order of operations. It's intended to be a large language model, not math. So procedures it can sometimes get lost on. And but what you can do to kind of remedy that situation is ask ChatGPT to think about each step of the problem or question that you're asking it to solve. And then you have a much higher likelihood that it will give you a result that is more accurate. So that's at least been my experience. So when I give it I need it to consolidate or give me an answer or a possible solution or a possible reaction to a large procedure or something like that. I'll say, think about each step before you give me the answer. And then it yields a better result. So that's what we're going to do effectively. I'm going to ask it to here's the first set of lyrics. I want you to create that let me do the verse 1 so it makes sure it knows that what we're doing here. And let's see here what it does. For the provided lyrics in verse 1, here are the image descriptions that align with each line, visually representing the themes of miscommunication and the need for a new perspective. Excuse me. Misdirected conversation, a medium shot of two colleagues in an office setting, one speaking animatedly while the other looks confused and lost. I don't want this to be about two people. I want this to be about multiple people, like a team environment. Close-up of an employee's hands. Okay, a lot of this is pretty good, but let's try again, but let's use a team of people for in team of people instead of just two. All right. So image 1. Team meeting with misunderstandings. A roundtable team meeting in a brightly lit office where one member is speaking, but others around the table look puzzled and disconnected. The scene visually represents conversations missing the mark, with each team member expressing indicating a lack of understanding. Team in a shadowed office, a wide office shot where the team is working under bright overhead lights, but their faces and workstations are subtly shadowed, symbolizing the line. In the office light, we're in the dark. Oh, the shadows cast over the work, implying a disconnect despite the physical brightness of the space. This is looking pretty good. I think it's on the right track. So what we're going to do now, let's give us 4 images. That's enough for now. We can generate some more if necessary. So let's use ChatGPT's image creation feature to have it actually create this image. So create the image create the image 1 you described. So it's going to create this team meetings with misunderstandings. It's going to take this description and generate the image. Now, while it's doing that, I'm going to go over to my Word document, and oh wow, that did it pretty quick. All right, so there we go. We have the image. Now, one problem here is that it is a 1:1 aspect ratio. I want a 16:9, so I'm going to have to ask it to redo it. And now this style, this kind of animated style, yeah, you know what? I think I'll keep with it. I was imagining this song was going to be a more realistic style. I've been kind of doing a lot of realistic styles of music videos, but you know what? I think animated like this, kind of cartoony, works pretty well. So I like this style, but I want it to be 16:9. So this is good. I like the style you created, but I need the image in a 16:9 aspect ratio. I said please, just don't need to be nice. Recreate it in that aspect ratio. All right. As it's doing that, I'm going over to my Word and adding this. Oh, yikes. I have just dropped off here. Hold on. Huh. Okay, let's see. Am I back? I suddenly dropped off. All right, there we are. Let me see. Make sure I'm back. My headset crashed on me. Let me see if my stream is still going. I know I am back here, but let me make sure that my stream is working. Apologize about that. As I mentioned, there is a lot of technology. Oh, thank you, Sarah. You can see me. Excellent. But I want to check the stream, make sure the stream is working. I see you see me on. Yeah, I think I'm still here. Apologize about that. Yep. It is working. Excellent. All right. Just had to double check that stream to be on the safe side. And yes, I'm back. So yeah, as I said, there's a lot of technology happening around me right now with my headset being connected to my computer. I've got OBS running. I got ChatGPT running. I got a live stream going. It's just a lot of technology going on. So there's occasionally a little hiccup here and there. But here we go. We have now the image done in this 69 aspect ratio. I'm not a big fan of these little thought bubble question marks here. So I'm going to ask it to remove that. Let's make that image again, but this again in the same aspect ratio. I don't trust ChatGPT on image creation. It always defaults to 1:1. So make sure to keep it in that same aspect ratio. This time, do not use the thought bubbles with question marks. Although it did a pretty good job on those question marks. So there's one that has a Wi-Fi signal. That's weird. All right, while that's generating, let's go over here and continue on with our adding our lyrics. Ooh, let's make it pretty small. Interesting. All right. Verse 2. Actually, that's verse 3. Ooh. Verse 3. Verse 2 is up here that it didn't label before. So I want to make sure that it's labeled as verse 2. There we go. And go over here. Go. And here is verse 4, even though it's not labeled as such. And looks like, it still did the question marks. Okay. Let's try this again. Let's do it realistic. Okay. Make it more realistic and not animated. Remove the talk bubbles. There we go. Let's see if it keeps with that 69 aspect ratio. Oops. Creating image. This is going to be first. Let's see what I'm doing here. Again, just trying to get these things in here. Now, this is not a necessity for you to do this. I just like to keep everything. I like using tables to get, oh my gosh, it still did it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go with it. We're going to do some editing on this image and remove those talk bubbles. But that's fine. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and download this image. There we go. It's downloaded. And now I want to do this one. So I'm going to copy this. Again, I don't want it to think all the way back that far. I want to remind it of what I want it to do. Okay, let's move on to image 2. Create a 16:9 aspect ratio image using this description. All right. And so what I'm going to show you I'm going to do with that image. So I'm going to open up that image. And I'm going to plop it into my directory here that I have for my project. And I'm going to open this image with Photoshop. Now, I actually didn't expect to be using Photoshop. I should have, so I do not have a stream screen for Photoshop, but we'll make it work. In fact, I'm going to take it over here. It should work over here. Yes, excellent. So here we go. I'm going to bring this over to Photoshop. And I'm going to use the AI feature in Photoshop to remove those talk bubbles. Oh, I just realized something I need to do. Oh, dang. Okay, hold on a second. But yeah, let's not get too out of track. So I'm going to take this tool here just to let's see. Oops. I'm going to use the lasso. Use the lasso, and I'm going to lasso this talk bubble in. There we go. Generative fill, remove, talk bubble, generate. Do these one at a time. Just remove those talk bubbles. And just realized something that ChatGPT did and that I neglected to do. Yep, I did a pretty good job there. I'm going to do the same thing for this one now. Bingo, generative fill, remove talk bubble. I'll show you what ChatGPT did as I so here it created the image, but it's a little different style. It's a little different style. So what I want to do is I'm going to go and send it the image that we're working on. Once I get this image done, I'm going to output it, and then I'm going to send it into ChatGPT and say, hey, continue the style of this and remake that same image. Remove talk bubble. So that's what I'll ask Chat to do. So try again. Use the attached image as a stylistic example and keep with that style. All right. And let's go back to Adobe here. And there we go. We've got those talk bubbles now. Let me get this out of the way. Talk bubbles are now removed. So I'm going to hit File, Export as, and I'm going to export this as a JPEG. That's fine. That's fine. Oops, this is a little too big for this. Okay, so I'm just going to export over here. And desktop. There we go. Excellent. I think now I've got it exported here. There's the one with the talk bubbles. Here's the one without the talk bubbles. So I'm going to grab that image and bring it over to ChatGPT. There we go. Plop that in. As it's creating that, let's go back to Word and continue with our entries here. Oops. There we go. Making sure I am keeping on track here. Up the ladder, we find a theme. Yep, okay, got that. Delete that. Higher up, yep, got that. Delete that. In abstraction, we find the link. Yep, got that. Don't want to duplicate our lyrics too much. The ladders, yep, that's the bridge. Good there. Chorus, good. Put the chorus in. Bingo. Bingo. And outro. Actually, this is not going to be an outro. It's going to be another verse. There we go. And this is the outro. Whether or not Suno will take that as the outro is another question. All right, verse 1, verse 2, chorus, verse 3, verse 4, bridge, chorus, and this is verse 5. Outro, we're good. We got all the lyrics there now. And let's go over to ChatGPT. All right, I'm digging this. We'll go ahead and keep it this one. I will download that image. And now I'm going to go back up to this description of image number 3. Copy that. And all right, create image number 3 using the following description. Keep with the same style you have been using. Recreate some of the characters seen in previous images for consistency. There you go. Put that in there. Now I'm going to go back over here, and just to keep my my sanity, I'm going to add these images into here. Whoops. I kind of messed it up here, so I'm going to go can we insert image, insert. This is very small, so I can't see where the insert image is. Pictures from device. And let's go to my desktop where I've got this directory. No, I'm doing AI music, doing AI Fusion Vidcast. And here we go. I think this is the right one. Boom. Oh, that is small. Or I just want this to be my guide. There you go. Then I'm going to pop this one in here, and I'm going to do change picture from this device. It's always easier to change a picture than it is to add a new one. Oh, I haven't saved the picture into here. Oh, wow. Let's look at this. This is interesting. What was the description on this image? A scene showing the team overwhelmed by piles of paper, charts, and graphs representing words too concrete, details lost in sound. The imagery should convey an excess of specific detailed information leading to confusion and frustration. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's absurd, but I like it. We'll go with it. So I'm going to download this image. There we go. I think these images are going to my download directory, so I'm going to add them over to my project directory. And close this one out. Change picture, device. I think this was the image we were going to use. And this is number 3, I believe. Oh, no. I'm sorry. This is all supposed to go in the verse 1. That's right. So these images actually should go here. Oops. Duplicate. Change picture from device. And where is that? There we go. Bingo. Let's go grab the next image. Oh, is that B there? And where was image number 4? There we go. Let's do the 4th image. Here is the description. Keep with the same style and characters if possible. Bingo. And now, what else could we work on as this is doing this? So we're going to be creating a lot of images here, a lot. So we may not be able to do this all tonight, but we'll get a good start on it. What I want to do though is start working with the music. So after we get kind of the first. I think that works. Although he's really tall. That's a little strange. It looks like some giant. I'll do another. Try again. The man standing looks like a giant. Make him normal size and proportional to the other people in the image. There we go. So yeah, well, as soon as I'm gonna get one more image from the scene. I know they only described 4 images, but I want to do 5 images for this. Let's see here: team meeting, team shadows, team. I think we have a lot of kind of wide shots. I think we need something close up. Okay, that works. That works. All right. Download that one. Let's make another image, but I want it to be a close up of the office workers. Keep with same style and aspect ratio. All right, and let's go over to here and add this image. Change picture from device. And where is that image? Oh, that's right. I didn't save it. I saved it, but it's in my downloads folder. Here's my downloads. Here we go. Plop that in here. Bring this over here. Right click, change picture from device. And there we go. And I'm going to duplicate this. Oops. There we go. And let's go back to ChatGPT and see what it created. I'm digging this. Now we can get a good look at these people. Download. Bring it over here. There's my image in my download. Put that over to my vidcast directory. Key is keeping your assets, and whenever you're doing production, you got to keep your assets organized. They sometimes download into weird places, and you don't want to be hunting around for them. So I want to put them all into a directory. In fact, this is kind of a messy directory. I advise that you create subdirectories in your project directory for there we go, for each of the types of assets you're using. So such as graphics, have a directory for graphics, a directory for audio, directory for video, a directory for just your project files. I even created a directory for exports because I frequently export videos that'll go in, like, either be a final video or will be an export from one tool that I need to import into another. So there's a variety of directories I recommend you use when you're working on a multimedia project, just to keep your brain straight, and you're not hunting around for things, because it really will kill your motivation if you're spending your whole time trying to find loose image and audio assets in all the directories on your computer. All right, so I think we got a good 5 images for this first verse. So let's go over and start making some music. Let's make some music with Suno. I have the lyrics here. So now this is also a very iterative process for making music. I'm going to go to Suno AI. Oops, what happened? That is not right. There we go. All right. Suno AI. I'm going to go to create. I've already logged in. And here's a bunch of music I've already created here. Oh, I'm on the create already. I'm going to switch over to custom mode. Now, I can just put in a song description and we'll start creating a song, but I have lyrics and I have a style and I have, actually, I don't have a title yet. Something we should ask ChatGPT to do. All right, let's get right now. Give me some title ideas for this music video. Because we're going to need to input that. Well, while that's processing, so I'm going to add the lyrics. Now, Suno does a really good job. I want to make sure I get my verse 2 in there. So I'm copying and pasting this over from my Word doc. And oops, verse 1, and I got to add verse 2. It does a pretty good job of doing 2 verses together. There we go. And then there we go. Frame it just right. Style of music, pop, and title. Let's see what ChatGPT has given us for a title. Here we go. Beyond the details, a ladder of clarity, shadows in the office. It always does these subtitles. Rungs of insight, ascending miscommunication. It is really sticking to the abstraction ladder titling, but what I want is more pop music. Climbing words might be good, but let's try again, but this time I would like to have a greater impression of pop music in the title. There we go. Let's see what it comes up with that. Blueprints and Beyond, Office Echoes, Harmonizing Heights. Sending Rungs of Insight are okay. Doesn't really seem very popish though. Up the Beat, it's pretty good. Rhythm of Reason, Sinking Sounds, Charting the Hits. Dialogue Dance, Vibes of Vision. Echoes of Empathy, Harmony in the Hierarchy, Bridging in the Baseline. I kind of like that. Chorus clarity, Lyrics of Leadership, Tuning to Teamwork, Volume of Vision, Charting the Hits, Syncing the Sounds, Rhythms of Reason. I don't know. I'll take any suggestions from anybody watching and listening. And let's see here. Vibes of Vision, Charting the Hits, Frequency, Echoes. I'm liking Bridging the Baselines. Pretty cool. I like kind of the funkiness to that. You know what? Let's make this kind of a pop funk. So Bridging the Baseline, pop funk. We're going to change it around a little bit. Pop funk, we got our verse 1, verse 2 in here. And so let's hit create and see what it comes up with. Now this is a roll of the dice. You're never sure what you're really going to get out of this. It could be way off. It could be right on track. Whatever the case is, if it's not very good, we'll just hit the roll those dice again, spin the wheel, and see what it comes up with. Right. Now, while it's doing that, it could take about a minute or two for the music to create. I'm going to start getting my project in Premiere done. So I'm going to create some subdirectories here. New bin. Let's do graphics, and then let's do a new bin audio. Okay, I'm going to try to keep it very organized here. Video. And I think that's all we really need here. I'm going to go grab the images that we're using. So that one. Oops. This one. I think I got 5 images now. Plop them into here. Put them into my graphics directory. And there we go. And let's go back to Suno and see what we got. All right, yep, we got some music. Oh, credits refunded. Whenever it says credits refunded, it means that it didn't work. But I'm gonna hear what it did anyways. Whoa, that's messed up. Okay, here we go. All right, bridging the baseline. I'm not liking this. It's a little too slow. I was imagining something a little bit more upbeat. sounds more like reggae. I see we have a Hoops region on YouTube. Welcome. And if you are interested, I am here in Big Screen VR. So if you have your VR headset, you're welcome to join me here. Got an open room. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, this is feeling it. I'm feeling this one.
In the dark, words too concrete, details lost in sound. Need a higher view to turn this around. Conflicts born from the literal layer. Misunderstandings fill the air. It's time to climb, to rise above, to see the forest, not just the leaves thereof.
Oh, I'm loving that one. That's a great one. I've generated another set just to give us a few more selections, but I'm going to give that a thumbs up for right now. Yeah. I'm going to thumbs down this one that says credits refunded because that one was obviously messed up. Get that off of my line. Here we go. We got 2 more to listen to. I like the beginning. It's a good start.
In the office, like we're in the dark. Words too concrete, details lost in sound. Need a higher view to turn this around. Conflicts born from the literal layer. Misunderstandings fill the air. It's time to climb, to rise above.
I'm liking this.
To see the forest, not just the leaves thereof.
That's pretty good. Let's listen to the next one. It's got a good beat. I like the style. However, it's very short. Way too short. I got through it, I guess. But the problem with that one, I kind of heard a little bit of kind of artifacting in the voice. It sounded kind of pixelated. If that's, I know pixelation's a visual thing, but I kind of heard that in the voice. So I'm gonna say no to that one. I'm gonna give that a thumbs down. But between these two, this is both really good. Listen to them again.
List them all. In the office light, or in the dark. Words too concrete,
that's
details
really
lost in
good.
sound. Need a higher view to turn this around. Conflicts born from the literal layer. Misunderstandings fill the air. It's time to climb, to rise above, to see the forest, not just the leaves thereof.
That's good. That is so good.
Conversations miss the mark.
Okay, this is good too, but I think I'm gonna go with that first one. So this one's the winner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit continue from this clip, and it's gonna bring it over here. I'm gonna continue from this clip. I'm gonna keep with the bridging the baseline title, pop funk music, but now I'm going to change the lyrics to the next set. So which is gonna be the chorus and verse 3. So I'm gonna pop those over here. And I'll do a little bit of restructuring here to make sure that they are properly formatted for Suno. I don't know if I could just put them in there like there were, and that might be okay. But I want to make sure this is looking good. So there we go. We got the lyrics in there. Continuing from that previous one, I'm just going to hit continue, and it's going to generate part two. Now, one of the things really cool because when you're going through and making all these new parts to it, and you're going to stitch them together after you after you get through all your lyrics and everything is sounding good, what's really nice that Suno does is that it kind of lets you you click on one and it'll highlight all of the portions that are adding to that song that it's connected to. If I go back a little bit here, there's a song Heartbound, and you look here, it's Heartbound, a song I made over last night, 2 nights ago, and I was generating a lot of different parts. Like part 4, I generated like many different versions of part 4, so it may be difficult to realize which one was used to create part 5. So if I click on part 5, I can see this part 4 and this part 3 are highlighted, so that means that is chained together. If I click the other one, notice that those two are also there, but I can rule out these other part 4s. They're not associated to whatever was used to generate this part 5. So really cool. So like here, select this part 2, and it notes that this is the one that it's continuing from, not this one. All right. Now, one thing I also like to do is make sure, or just kind of rehear the first part, at least the ending of the first part or whatever one I was just previously working on, because it takes sometimes 2 minutes for the next part to be generated, and I might kind of lose track. And listening to so many different sections of the music, you kind of lose track of what you're listening to. So I'm going to re-listen to this first part.
Conversations, listen to see the forest, not just the leaves that are.
Then go to this one.
Up the ladder, we find the theme.
Whoa, that's totally
beyond
different.
The specifics, we weave.
No.
Up the ladder, we find the theme. Beyond the specifics, we weave the dream. Then down we go with a clearer view, turning broad ideas into actions true. Higher up, where thoughts are wide, we see connections that before did hide. Abstracting problems, the bigger picture's there. Then descending back, solutions appear.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Yeah, I see you in YouTube chat now. I'm glad you're able to join us here. Yeah, I was having a problem with my computer audio coming over onto Discord. That is something I was a little concerned about. I'm gonna have to work on. I'm having to work on that audio. So, but I'm glad you're here on YouTube. And so you can hear everything. But you're saying it's hard to understand. Is it hard to hear me? Am I not coming through very well, or is the music not coming through very well? Is it scratchy at all? Please let me know if there's any audio or video problems going on, and I'll see what I can do about fixing it. Again, this is one of my, I'm still new to the streaming game. Oops. There we go. I'm still new to the streaming game, so I'm still getting used to these tools. I've recently purchased a lot of new equipment to do this more effectively. Like I just picked up a Stream Deck foot paddles. So Stream Deck is a tool that is used to it's like a programmable button interface, like a programmable keyboard. And so I've been using Stream Deck, this little programmable keyboard, to switch between my shots. Like you're seeing here, I can transition between them. Well, sort of. I can select different shots to go to, and then I use my foot pedal to actually do the transition. And it's much more effective using a foot pedal system when you're in VR, because I can't always see. I can kind of see it, my keyboard just underneath my VR headset, but I'm mostly typing on my keyboard and touching pressing the buttons on my Stream Deck just by feel, and to really minimize the amount of buttons I have to press with my fingers and hands, it's helpful to have a foot paddle to do it. So I'm using a foot paddle to transition between these shots here. So really helpful tool, the Stream Deck foot pedal. Highly recommend it. And of course, the regular Stream Deck keyboard systems are very good too. All right, so what I noticed in that part 2, that first version of the part 2, it really seemed to go off theme there. Let's listen to it again. I'm going to listen to the first part,
Conversations, list them up.
and then it goes into this part 2.
Up the ladder, we find the theme.
It sounds like a different singer
Beyond the
to me.
specifics, we weave the dream. Then down we go with a clearer view, turning road ideas into actions true. Higher up, with thoughts are wired. We see connections that before did hide. Abstracting problems, the bigger picture's clear. Then descending back, solutions appear. Up the ladder, we find
I like this one though. I'm going to stick with number 2 here.
We weave the dream.
Yeah, this one here.
Then
So
down we go.
I'm going to hit
With a
continue.
clearer view,
Continue from this
turning
clip.
broad
I'm going to
ideas
grab the verse 4
into actions
and
true.
bridge.
Higher up, with thoughts are wide. We see connections that before did hide. Abstracting problems, the bigger picture's there. Then descending back, solutions appear.
All right, I think we got some winning music here. All right, part 2, moving on to part 3 with the verse 4 and bridge. While that's generating, let's go back to ChatGPT and see if we can start creating some more images for the second set of lyrics. So I think we had that listed up here. I think it did it create images for everything? No, it didn't. That's right. I wanted... Let me double check here. Yep. So I just gave it the first verse. So let's go for the second verse now. Okay. I will now provide you with the second verse. Create descriptions for 5 images that will continue to tell the story of this song. And let's go grab that second verse, copy, paste it. Just to let you know, if you hit enter when writing text in the prompt here, it will send the prompt to ChatGPT. But if you hit shift and enter, you can actually put spaces in there. So a little helpful tool. Verse 2 is verse 2. Yes. All right. Verse 1, verse 2. There we go. Hit that. All right. Click that. Bring it all the way down. And now it's going to create those descriptions. Let's go back to Suno and see how part 3 is coming along. So let's again remind ourselves what part 2 sounds like.
Up the ladder, we find the bigger pictures there. Then descending back, solutions
And
appear.
part 3. Now, one thing that I'm gonna worry about, that you have to worry about when making music, is that sometimes it will cut off your lyrics. It'll do a big instrumental like it's doing right now, and then it starts singing the lyrics near the end of the segment, and it cuts it off at the end. And so that could be a big problem. If you find that that's happening a lot for a particular segment, just reload it and just take off some of the lyrics.
Abstraction, we find the link, but in the concrete, our plans sink. Balance in between, we find our way. In that dance of words, we sway. That'll stretch us for the climb. Better to for thoughts, time after time. Up for vision, down for touch.
It's gonna cut off. It's gonna cut off. Oh, it cut
In
off.
abstraction,
All right.
we find the link.
We'll hear the next one.
But in the concrete, our plans sink. Balance in between, we find our way. In the dance of words, we sway. The ladder's not just for the climb, but a tool for thought.
I think it's gonna be a good one.
Time after time, up for vision, down for touch. In this rhythm, we find so much.
I think we got a good one right there. So we're going to continue from that part 3. Continue on a grab. That was the bridge. And right. It's the bridge. Yep. I'll grab the chorus and verse 5. Make sure. Yep. Part 3 is what I'm continuing from. There we go. Continue. All right, and let's see what ChatGPT is doing for us on this descriptions. All right, so yeah, it gave us 5 image descriptions. Literal miscommunication off a scene where a team member points to a large detailed flowchart. All right, I'm liking these. I'm just going to go with them. And let's see, got to remind myself what was the prompt I gave to start off these images. Let's go to number 1. So let's remind myself. Okay, it's just a very simple prompt. Create an image based on the following description. Maintain stylistic consistency with previous images you created in this chat. All right. Boom, boom, enter, make your image, ChatGPT. All right, and here we go. Part 4, again, just remind ourselves of part 3.
In abstraction, we find the link, but in the concrete, our plans sink. In this rhythm, we find so much, ascending high, then back to ground.
Hold on.
In
Oh, yeah, no, that's right.
abstraction, down for touch. In this rhythm, we find so much, ascending high, then back to ground. In this cycle, our answers are found. With each step, perspective flows from abstract heights to concrete toes.
Playing a little too much music, not enough lyrics there.
Ascending high, then back to ground. In this cycle,
this is good, though.
our answers are found. With each step, perspective flows from abstract heights to concrete toes. Now we speak, both wide and deep, in our words.
I like that pause that it just did. That's good.
With the lattice wisdom, we found our place in the spectrum of dialogue, our perfect place.
Yeah, I'm loving that one. All right, we're going to continue from this clip. All right, that was verse 5, and now we're just going to our outro. Our outro is the last bit of the song. Now, when we get to the end of the song, this is where things get a little difficult because Suno Chirp, there's no real prompt to give it to let it know that the song is going to come to an end. I put outro on there, but it doesn't seem to follow that very well. So after we do this lyric, it may just it may not have a good trail off ending. So we might have to do a little bit of fancy footwork here at the end to make it work. But let's see how this turns out. We're continuing from part 4, doing our outro, and hit continue. So this is going to be part 5. And as that's generating, let's go back to ChatGPT. All right, that's looking okay. Not exactly the right style, but I'm just gonna go with it. All right, so let's do now. Here goes my headset again. I hope I'm not gonna fall off here. Please bear with me as my headset regains connectivity. There we go. I'm back. Excellent. So sorry, my headset was freaking out there. All right, image 2. This second image of this verse. All right. And let's see how our outro is. So again, let's remind ourselves.
In the spectrum of dialogue, our perfect place. From the lofty clouds to the solid earth, we navigate our thoughts, giving ideas birth. With each palm, up and down, we bridge our gaps on our crown. From the lofty clouds to the solid earth, we navigate our thoughts, giving ideas birth. With each row, up and down, we've bridged our gaps on our crown.
I like that last one there. That's good. So now, it's not an ending. That's not an ending. That was supposed to be an outro, but that is not an ending right there. So I'm going to continue from this clip, and this time I am not going to put any lyrics because I just want it to end. Now, this is a roll of the dice. I've had it do some very weird things when I don't put any lyrics. Sometimes it will generate lyrics, even if there's none in there. Other times it will end the song immediately. Sometimes it'll do a long 1.5 minute musical interlude, whatever. But it's most I've had the best success by ending a song by just putting in no lyrics and hitting continue. And let's see what it generates. Now, since there are no lyrics, it does make it prone to error. So it may do a whole error, credits refunded, but it will generate a couple seconds of music when it does that. And sometimes that's all. Yep, there you go. Credits refunded. That's what it did. The generation was too short, so no credits were used. So that actually might be a good thing because it may just put the kind of a outro sort of fade out. So we'll listen to that and see what it does. Nope,
we
not
navigate
good.
our thoughts, giving ideas birth.
See? No lyrics, but still putting words in.
Giving ideas birth. With each row, up and down, we've bridged our gaps on our crown.
I'm gonna do another generation. That was interesting. See, no lyrics, and it still made the words in it.
Giving ideas birth. We navigate our thoughts, giving ideas birth. With each row, up and down, we've bridged our gaps on our crown.
I actually kind of like that. Let's see what this does. Nope, no good. No, I'm not liking this. This is weird. No, I don't like that. I think I'm going to stick with this part 6 here.
We navigate our thoughts, giving ideas worth.
If anything, I could take this and fade it out.
With each row,
so I'll continue.
We've bridged our gaps on our crown.
And no lyrics again. No lyrics again, and see what it does. There we go. Got a pretty good image right there. Let's do the third image. I think that's what we're on. All right, let's see. Crossing my fingers that this is going to be a fade out ending to the song.
We navigate our thoughts, giving our disperse. We navigate our thoughts, giving our disperse. With each row, up and down, we push our gaps, our ground.
Not liking it. You know what? That might work right there. That might work. Let's see.
Slightly.
No, it's this one.
We navigate our thoughts, giving our disperse.
Okay, I think that's going to work, actually. I'm going to use the credits refunded part 7 one to finish off the song. So I'm going to select that, do get whole song, and now it's going to take all of those clips. So everything you see highlighted here. So number 7, this number 7, this number 6, this number 5, this 4, 3, 2, and the first one. It is going to go and stitch those all together to create our final song. I'm going to actually undo those thumbs up because I only do thumbs up of a final song. Here we go. Here is our final song.
Conversations, list them up.
Actually, hold on a second. I want to do this a different way. I want to reveal this in a different way. I want to download the video. And oops. Oh, no, it's not playing from there. Okay, never mind. We'll just play it from here. Sorry, some audio problems that won't play from those
Conversations, list them up. In the office light, or in the dark. Words too concrete, details lost in sound. Need a higher view to turn this around. Conflicts born from the literal layer. Misunderstandings fill the air. It's time to climb, to rise above, to see the forest, not just the leaves that are. Up the ladder, we find a theme. Beyond the specifics, we weave the dream. Then down we go, with a clearer view. Turning broad ideas into actions true. Higher up, where thoughts are wide, we see connections that before did hide. Abstracting problems, the bigger picture's there. Then descending back, solutions appear. In abstraction, we find a link, but in the concrete, our
that's not making you all dizzy.
balance in between, we find our way. In the dance of words, we sway. The ladder's not just for the climb, but a tool for thoughts, time after time. Up for vision, down for touch. In this rhythm we find so much. Ascending high, then back to the ground. In this cycle, our answers are found. With each step, perspective flows. From abstract heights to concrete toes. Now we speak, both wide and deep.
I'm really excited to use that pause in the music video.
We found our place in the spectrum of dialogue, our perfect place. From the lofty clouds to the solid earth, we navigate our thoughts, giving ideas birth. With each row, up and down, we've pitched our gaps on our ground. We navigate our thoughts, giving ideas birth. We navigate our thoughts, giving ideas birth. With each row, up and down, we've bridged our gaps on our ground.
Nice. 2 minutes, 44 seconds long. It's a great song length there. I think we have a winner. So I am going to download the audio from that. And then we're going to move over to here and bring that. Here's the audio. Here is the video. I'm going to bring it over to the AI Fusion Vidcast directory. Then I'm going to bring that also over to Adobe Premiere. And did I lose my mouse? I think I lost my mouse. I did lose my mouse. Oops. Hold on 1 second. This happens sometimes. I can't see my mouse. All right. Let's see if I can get that back. But we're almost at the end of the stream, anyways. But let's see here. Oh, losing my mouse. There we go. So I'm having to look underneath my headset right now to see on my computer where my mouse is. But sometimes whatchamacallit does this. BigScreen does this. It will just drop off the mouse cursor. There we go. Okay, now I can pull these over here, drop them there. Excellent. And I'm gonna take one of the images and plop it down on the timeline, and then I'm gonna take the music, plop it down on the timeline.
Conversations, list them up. In the office light, or in the dark.
All right, so I have the music on the timeline. I'm gonna shave it off a little bit here. Oh, I was afraid of that. Interesting. I hope you can all. Oh, I guess you can hear me. Yeah, my headset died. Here we go. Big screen is frozen up on me. I'm gonna jump back in, and hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. Coming back in. Excellent. All right. Let me get my camera back up here. Ooh. I think I'm really overloading my system here. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep it like that for right now. I think I am back. Yep. So yeah, I had my headset had malfunctioned a bit there, but we're almost at the end of the podcast, vidcast here. So next steps I'm going to be doing is I'm going to continue making the images, and probably have another session maybe over the weekend, possibly even tomorrow night. I'll definitely post an event in the Discord server, as well as set up an event here on YouTube, a new stream. So keep an eye out for that. And we'll continue making images and assembling it. So that's going to be tomorrow night, if not Sunday. No, it's Thursday night now. So it'll be Friday night or Saturday night. I'll be having another session where I'll come on and create those images, lay them down on the timeline here in Adobe Premiere, and then kind of get a structure of what's going to be seen at each portion of the song. And then after that, we go in and animate those images. We're going to create videos out of those images, and put the transitions together, and then get that whole song made, a whole music video made. Might even add some graphics on top of that, like text graphics, maybe lyrics, something like that. We can put that also on top of the music. So that's what's planned for tomorrow and Saturday. I hope you're able to join. Again, I am here in BigScreen VR, so if you are a VR headset user, you can join me here. I provided links down in the comments, or not the comments, the description down below of the YouTube channel, the YouTube stream. You can access BigScreen VR from there with your VR headset and join me here in the room. Or I'm happy to have you all here in, let's see if I can transition here. Sort of can here. I don't know if I can't control the camera right now because the headset's kind of fritzing out. But yeah, I'm happy that you were able to join me here on YouTube. I look forward to doing this again, and I'll be continuing to do more live stream vidcasts like this, where we'll go over additional tools in the future, not only for AI tools, but also instructional design, and other multimedia content creation stuff. I'll be doing lectures on learning theory and just a variety of topics. So look forward to doing that. I look forward to seeing you at a future podcast. Have a good night, everybody, and take care.